Come on, meditation just isn't my thing. And that's the topic of this nugget. And I like to start the nuggets off with a joke. This one's not really a joke, but it's kind of cute and humorous. And it ties into mindfulness. A Zen master approaches a hot dog cart and requests, "Make me one with everything." The hot dog vendor prepares the hot dog and hands it to the Zen master, who pays with a $20 bill. The hot dog vendor puts the bill in the cash drawer and closes the drawer. "Where's my change?" asks the Zen master. The hot dog vendor responds, "Change must come from within." Hopefully there was some kind of Zen sound that just happened right there. Okay, keep watching this video. You may want to tune out because I'm going to talk about meditation. But hear me out. I've wanted to do a nugget on meditation for a while, so I really hope you get something out of this nugget. Also, it ties into our last few nuggets where we talk about things that turn on your parasympathetic nervous system and renew you, de-stress you, and gear you up to bring your A game. I can't think of one thing that has impacted me and many others more on the topic of renewal / de-stressing than meditation. This nugget will be a tiny bit longer than some, but I'm going to take a big, crazy, usually misunderstood topic and break it down as quickly as possible to hopefully pique your interest for the future and not put you to sleep today. So here's what I'm going to cover. I want to get into certain potential roadblocks that may be in your mind, so hopefully we can open it up a little bit more to the topic. Next, we're going to hit a laundry list of amazing people who use meditation and love it. Then we're going to talk about what it is and what's in it for you, what exactly I think it is, and finally, how to start, or what do you do? After that, we will wrap up and recommend a great book that really helped me and others understand this topic a lot better. So let's start off with the stuff you should probably forget about, at least for now. First on the list is enlightenment. Let's just make this simple. Don't worry about all the talk about enlightenment with meditation for now. Just forget it. If you really want to get into meditation and want to wander down that path of enlightenment, great. And I know a lot of people do. It's kind of interesting. But if not, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be worrying about enlightenment. You can get the same mental and physical benefits from meditation as the hardcore people without all the hardcoreness, I guess. Next is you don't have to be religious, or you can be religious. It doesn't matter. This video and the topic of meditation, for that matter, have nothing to do with religion. It's agnostic as far as we're concerned here. Also, you don't have to do this for hours a day or go to retreats or even study it a ton further, really. Just practicing for 5 minutes a day or a few times per week gives plenty of benefits. It's like exercise. You don't have to be training for an Ironman to get huge benefits from exercise. Light, regular workouts do the trick. Meditation is the same. Finally, don't take it too seriously. It can be challenging sometimes, but it shouldn't be something that you dread. Just have fun with it. Okay, now for a little social proof. Let's talk about a few recognizable people that credit meditation with having a lot to do with who they are and their successes. There's an endless list of people who have done amazing things and changed the world, literally, who meditate regularly. It's a laundry list of who's who, but you'd also be surprised on how many regular people that you know that are getting above average results out of life because of meditation. Here's a list of the few big names: Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Tony Robbins, Richard Gere, LeBron James, Russell Simmons, Gandhi, Will Smith, Kobe Bryant, Jennifer Lopez, Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Lucas, Clint Eastwood, Jerry Seinfeld, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah, Howard Stern, Katy Perry, Derek Jeter, Paul McCartney, Keanu Reeves, Madonna, Sheryl Crow, Halle Berry, and Sting. It's freaking endless the amount of people that understand and take advantage of the benefits of regular meditation. Every week I learn of new people just by happenstance that are into it. Surely you recognize a name or two on the list I went through and know how accomplished those people really are. So why are they and so many others practicing meditation regularly? Let's talk about some of the benefits, and there's a lot. Now, there's a mountain of research that's been done on meditation by the top doctors, scientists, and researchers in the world. Every field from neuroscience, psychology, biology, sports, science, quantum mechanics, and the military have been impacted by the findings. Meditation has been practiced and studied for over 5,000 years. That's a freaking long, long time. Western science, however, has been doing endless research on the topic, but only since the 70s, so not quite as long. The amount learned over the last decade or so, especially in the Western world, is mind-boggling. Again, take some time to research some of this stuff on your own, as I'm just going to fly through it. Here's a few benefits science has taught us, and then I will talk about some benefits that I've seen. This list is mind-blowing. Meditation is proven to help with reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. It's huge. It lengthens memory, attention, focus, and lifespan. You age slower. Bam! That's a big one. You age slower. Think about that. It makes you more creative and open-minded. It enhances your cardiovascular and immune system, among other systems. It improves self-control and introspection. It heals the brain through things like neurogenesis. It increases gray matter and cortical thickness, which are also very good for your brain. Your brain starts working together in a state of coherence, which makes you much more effective at almost everything. And it reduces pain and inflammation, among other things. That's a pretty good list, so I'm in. I can tell you it's helped me. I started about 15 years ago after reading a book called How to Get What You Want and Want What You Have by Dr. John Gray, and it immediately started helping me. I've gotten more serious over the years, especially the last several, and it continues to really keep me on a good path. Here's a short list of what I've noticed. It may sound weird, but through meditation, I've gotten to know myself and how I operate much better, and this is a big benefit to me. Another is I'm stressed way less than ever, and it just keeps getting better. I can also handle way more stress and responsibility when needed, and it's not as big of a deal anymore. I have been able to grow and improve much faster in all the other things I'm trying to do. This may be of particular interest to some of you, but I have been able to obtain basically anything I focused and meditated on for long enough. Anything. My focus, attention, and mindfulness are all much improved as well. I enjoy my life more, and I'm more calm and connected more often. Basically, I'm just a better person because of meditation. Without meditation, I would be a raging asshole all the time, like I used to be. Now it's just sometimes. Bottom line for me is my days just go better when I start off with meditation, period. So what the heck is meditation anyway then? Enough with the everyone's doing it and it's so worth it talk, okay? Meditation simply means to become familiar with. And the thing you're becoming familiar with is you. You may not realize it yet, but your mind is basically out of control all the time and running 1,000 miles per hour. Most people have never taken a few minutes to slow down and just watch their brain work and become familiar with their brain and themselves. That's really all meditation is. It's that simple. Just take a little time out of your day to stop thinking or chasing every thought and just observe and be present. Very present, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you decide to do that, you can receive all the benefits mentioned above. You will also start to get to know yourself a little better and how and why you do or feel certain things. You will start to be in the present moment and not worry about the future or the past and the bad feelings that come along with it. At university, they call this mindfulness. May sound a little foo-foo right now, but if you try it out, you might be surprised. So, if that's all there is to meditation, then how do I do it? Again, this is a topic that thousands of books have been written about with even more opinions on the correct way to meditate. I'm going to try to save you some time and cut through some of that clutter by making it very simple. Just follow 3 basic steps in the beginning and forget about all the rest of the advice. First, get comfortable. I've heard and read plenty about specific this or that with positions and posture, and I don't think it really matters. Many people just can't get into a traditional crossed leg position, or if they can, it's painful. Don't worry about all that. If you need to, sit in a chair. So if you need a chair or to sit on a cushion or have your legs straight or whatever, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I sit with my feet flat and I'm holding my knees. Just get comfortable so you can sit for 5 minutes or so. Don't lay in your bed either. You're just going to fall asleep. We can talk more about that at another time. Okay, number 2, keep a straight and upright back. However you decide to sit, just make sure your back is as straight as possible and your torso is upright. There are some specific reasons for that, but it really doesn't matter, so we're not going to get into it. Just keep your back straight. Finally, as straight as possible. Finally, focus on the breath. There are many, many different types of meditation, which you could try and learn about and practice later. They get into all kinds of different techniques with breathing and whatever. For now, just focus on counting breath. The easiest technique I learned was fairly recently from the book, The 3 Pillars of Zen by Philip Kapleau. I think that's how you say his name. So here's what you do. Simply breathe in and then breathe out and count to 1. And then do it again. Breathe in, breathe out, and count to 2. All the way to the number 10. Now, when your mind starts wandering and you go down the rabbit hole, just like everyone does, it's gonna wander. Just say to yourself something like, oh, I just got caught up in a thought and I lost track of my counting. No big deal. Don't stress out about it. Maybe keep a mental note of what distracted you so you could go back later and see a pattern of how your mind's working. But just keep going on with your meditation. Don't stop and keep your counting going. If you completely lose track of where you were in your counting because you got way down the rabbit hole, just start back over at 1 and keep counting back to 10. If you get mildly distracted, just pick up where you left off and keep going and head to number 10. Don't just stop because you get a thought, because you're going to get a lot of thoughts. What is interesting is most people can't get to 10 because the mind is dragging them all over the place nonstop. And that's kind of the point of this, to learn that. But don't worry if you get to 10 or not. Just keep practicing. Sometimes after 15 years of practicing, I still have times where I can't get to 10 in the morning. That's not the point. It doesn't matter, so don't worry about it. The point is to keep practicing and getting yourself in the habit of not jumping at every thought that comes into your head. Just stay present and focused on the breath and the count and let those thoughts kind of go. This will start your journey and you will quickly see what I'm talking about with your mind running 1,000 miles per hour. You'll start to realize that you don't have to engage all of these thoughts or feelings. You can just watch them. You'll start observing your mind and all its craziness and get more familiar with how it and you are operating. Along with all of that, you will get all of the other amazing benefits that I mentioned before that come along with meditation. So let's wrap this nugget up. I'm no expert on the subject of meditation, but I really do get excited and passionate about its benefits, and I love sharing what I'm learning. Meditation is a very beneficial tool in living a better life. You don't have to be an expert at it either. It's like electricity. You don't have to know how electricity works to use it. You just have to be able to flip the switch or push the button and bingo! Electricity works. Meditation works the same. Just practicing regularly rewards you with all of the amazing benefits. Now, for the book recommendation. Most of the time when I talk about meditation with people, it just doesn't stick. It sounds alien or they just totally reject it. Maybe I make it sound too good to be true or pie in the sky or whatever. But recently I read this book and it really gave me a much simpler take on meditation. Hopefully it would do the same for you. Basically, this guy was a huge skeptic. And through a long journey, he ended up trying and really liking meditation. He concluded basically that made him at least 10% happier, which is the name of his book. It's one of these books that you're going to have a hard time putting down. It's fantastic, so please check it out. It's 10% Happier by Dan Harris, and it puts a really good framing around meditation for especially the skeptics. It's only 272 pages, so check it out, and I hope you try meditation. Have a great week.